The Walking Dead for individual divisions. Your score will be for load. There will be 8 stations that are all preloaded, and you must perform 5 reps at each station to advance to the next station. Individual workout flow. At 3, 2, 1, go, you will approach the first bar, and within 1 minute, you will deadlift it for 5 consecutive reps. This WOD will be done Imam style. The MC or announcer will call out rotate or switch every minute on the minute. Each time the command is given, as long as you've completed 5 consecutive reps at your bar, you will advance to the next, heavier bar. You will, each time, have a total of 1 minute to perform 5 consecutive reps with that load. The 8th and final bar is an AMRAP. If you are successful at bar 7 and you make it to the 8th, heaviest, and final bar, you will be allowed to perform as many reps as possible within the 1 minute. To get credit for that bar's load, you must perform at least 5 consecutive reps, just like all the other bars. However, you will get 5 additional pounds of credit for each rep above 5 that you perform. If your final bar load is 315 pounds and you perform 7 consecutive reps, you will get credit for 325 pounds. If you perform 9 consecutive reps at the 315 pounds, you will get credit for 335 pounds. Your score will be the best 5-rep deadlift you did, and if you make it to the 8th bar, you will receive 5 additional pounds per rep for every rep above 5. Movement standards. This is a traditional deadlift with the hands outside of the knees. Hand grip may be any type that the athlete chooses. Sumo deadlifts are not allowed. Starting at the floor, the barbell is lifted until the hips and knees reach full extension with the shoulders behind the bar. The arms must be straight throughout. Touch and go is allowed, but not required. No bouncing of the deadlift bar at any time. No deadlift straps are allowed. No reps include not achieving knee and or hip extension at the top, or not touching the bar completely to the floor. I got 99 problems for the individual division. This is 4 time with a 7-minute time cap. 33 jump rope, 33 wall balls, 33 toes above hips or knees above hips, 33 burpees, and 33 Russian kettlebell swings. The flow for the individual workout is at 3, 2, 1, go. The athlete will start jumping rope. The athlete may start with the rope already in their hands. After all jump rope hops are completed, they will move on to the wall balls. Once they've completed all the wall balls, they will move over to the leg raises. Once all leg raises are completed, then they will start the burpees. Once all the burpees are completed, they may start the Russian kettlebell swings. The workout ends when the kettlebell swings are completed or the timer hits the 7-minute time cap, whichever happens first. Movement standards. Double unders. This is the standard double under in which the rope passes completely under the feet twice for each jump. The rope must spin forward for the rep to count. Single unders. This is the standard single under in which the rope passes completely under the feet once for each jump. The rope must spin forward for the rep to count. As long as the rope continuously moves forward, any 2-footed hop over the rope is fine with each turn. Feet do not have to be together. Wall balls. The ball starts on the ground. The athlete will pick it up and stand fully upright with full hip extension with the ball in front rack position. Then the athlete will squat to where the hip crease goes below the knee, keeping the ball in the front rack position. And then rising back towards the top, the athlete will toss the ball to the target. Athlete catches the ball and must have the ball in front rack position while lowering hip crease to below the knee for every rep. If the ball hits the ground, the athlete must reposition to an upright, hips fully extended, front rack position before squatting for the next rep. Allowing the ball to drop from the target to the ground will result in a no rep. An air ball, where the ball gets high enough but does not make contact with the target, is also a no rep. Toes above hips for the intermediate division. The first rep will begin with the athlete in a full hang, the feet not touching anything, the hips fully open, and the heels behind the vertical plane of the bar. From there, and for each consecutive rep, the toes of both feet must rise above the hip crease. The hips must be fully open at the bottom with the heels behind the vertical plane of the bar, and no part of the feet touching the ground or any object. An overhand, underhand, or mixed grip are all permitted. Knees above hips for novice and masters divisions. The first rep must begin with the athlete in a full hang, the feet not touching anything, the hips fully open, and the heels behind the vertical plane of the bar. From there, and for each successive rep, the knees must rise above the hip crease. The hips must be fully open at the bottom with the heels behind the vertical plane of the bar and no part of the feet touching the ground or any object. An overhand, underhand, or mixed grip are all permitted. Russian kettlebell swings. The kettlebell will begin on the ground. The athlete must then grip the kettlebell and stand upright with the hips extended. The athlete then begins the lowering arc of the movement. The kettlebell must pass behind the heels at the bottom. The athlete then begins the rising arc, and the movement finishes when the arms are straight, the hands are above the shoulders, and the hips are extended. Burpees. The athlete begins the first burpee by standing upright, knees and hips fully extended. The burpee is standard, requiring the athlete to get the entire front of their body flat to the floor, including their chest. The athlete will then push up from the floor and return their feet towards their hands. The athlete must then jump and clap their hands above their head. They must hit full hip extension when they jump. Athletes may walk their feet back while getting the front of their body to the floor. The athletes may walk their feet forward when getting up off of the floor. "3-6-9, it's all fine." The individual version is 3 rounds for time with a 4-minute time cap. The workout is 3 lateral burpees over the bar, 6 hang power cleans, 9 alternating front rack lunges or unweighted lunges. The individual workout flow. At 3-2-1 go, the athlete will complete 3 full rounds of 3 lateral burpees over the bar, 6 hang power cleans, and 9 lunges. The workout stops once all 3 rounds are completed or the timer hits the 4-minute time cap. Movement standards. Lateral bar over burpees. Lateral bar over burpees must be performed parallel to the bar. Athletes may jump or step back to reach the bottom position. The chest and thighs must touch the ground every time. Stepping and/or jumping back to the starting position are both permitted. Intermediates must jump over the bar using a 2-foot takeoff. For novice and masters, a single leg jump or stepping over is permitted. Hang power clean. The barbell will begin preloaded on the ground. The athlete will begin by performing a deadlift and bringing the bar up to their hips. From there, they may lower the bar to hang position, which is anywhere between the top of the knees and the hips, and then perform a power clean by lifting the bar to the front rack position. finishing with the elbows in front of the bar with knees and hips fully extended. The bar must be caught in a partial squat. Catching the bar in a full squat, which is where the hips are below the knees, is not allowed. Alternating front rack lunges. The athlete will begin by standing tall with the bar in front rack and elbows in front of the bar. The athlete will then begin by lunging forward or backwards and touching their back knee to the ground and return back to a fully standing position with feet back in line and hips and knees fully extended. If the bar falls below the shoulders, it will be a no rep. Alternating lunges. The athlete will begin by standing tall. The athlete will then begin by lunging forward or backwards and touching their back knee to the ground and returning back to a standing position with feet back in line and hips and knees fully extended. The athlete's hands and arms cannot assist in any way to help getting out of the lunge. Walking lunges are not permitted. WOD 4, what goes up must come down. The individual version. This workout is for time with an 8-minute time cap. The workout is 50 calorie row, 40 step-ups, 30 plate ground overhead, and then 20 sit-ups. Individual workout flow. The athlete will start by sitting on the rower with their feet strapped in. At 3, 2, 1, go, they will start rowing. Once all 50 calories are rowed, they may then start the step-ups. Once all 40 step-ups are completed, the athlete will start the plate ground overhead. Once all 30 plate ground overhead are completed, the athlete will start sit-ups. The workout stops once all 20 sit-ups are completed or the timer hits the 8-minute time cap. Movement standards. The row. The athlete's feet must be strapped in and the damper can be set to the athlete's choice. The handle will be in the cradle and hands may not touch the handle until 3, 2, 1, go. Step-ups. The athlete will start by standing with 2 feet on the floor. The athlete will step up to the top of the box with both feet on top of the box, standing fully upright with hips and knees fully extended. Then the athlete will step back off the box and have both feet on the ground before starting the next rep. Plate ground overhead. The plate will start flat on the ground. The athlete will pick up the plate with 2 hands, having 1 hand on each side of the plate, and stand fully upright, bringing the plate overhead with arms fully locked out. Then the athlete will bring it back down, tap one edge of the plate to the ground, and then bring it overhead in one motion. The movement is completed when the plate is directly overhead with arms, hips, and knees fully locked out. Sit-ups. Sit-ups begin with the athlete lying on their back, feet on the floor, any distance below the butt. Butterfly position is just fine. But the feet may not be anchored, and the hands must be touching the floor above the head. The athlete then curls up until the hands touch the toes, not the midfoot, not the heel, but actually the toes. The feet cannot leave the floor at any time during any part of the sit-up. A nab mat is allowed but not required. If used, the ab mat must be positioned at the lumbar spine.